Ooh,
the
Destiny 2 hype
European,
train going to the countryside.
the last football pitch in the galaxy. So
Yep.
I've got ChimericNotion with me again. We
What up?
are we've been playing the D2 beta, and the farm is the social space that they're showing off today, and it's only live for an hour. So
One
we're
hour.
so we're gonna hang out. There's I'm sure tons of people who are. Wait, players do not have access to this activity? What?
Okay, let me leave the fire team and come back.
Okay.
Okay, I needed to refresh mine. That was my fault.
Okay.
That was my
That was
fault. That was
confusing.
my fault. Oh
Hmm.
god. Oh god. Chickens. I'm not
As you can
coherent
tell,
right now. I've
I
been
was,
playing this beta a lot.
I was gonna say, as you can tell, Chim is super excited about about the farm. So
Chickens.
we actually, so we both are hosts for Anchor podcasts. Anchor FM is a uh, mobile dominant but available on PC too podcasting platform. I run Intelligame Radio, which is a essentially the short form podcast arm of Intelligame.us, and Chim runs a podcast without light. If you want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so after hearing Intelligame Radio and hearing Josh glow over this application, I got the crazy idea to start a podcast without light, which is a Destiny 2 podcast, but it doesn't cover a lot of like the typical grounds of like what weapons are good or subclass breakdowns. It's really more about like the weird intersections of like my personal life and Destiny because it happens. And as we load in, the first thing you can see in the distance is a glowing shard of the Traveler.
Look at
Look at how pretty
this.
this is.
We are,
This is the farm. There are a lot of people here. Fuck.
yeah. What's up, Academical? Welcome to the stream. Um, wow, it's so
We have a
weird.
nice oceanside view too. Oh god.
It's so weird being here compared to the tower, because the tower
Mm.
is like obviously, ridiculously technologically advanced, and like all the
Mm.
even I feel like all the social spaces, even the House of Wolves. Um,
The
what was the
reef
name
was
of?
introducing that. The reef.
Wait,
The
but what was
Vestine
the
outpost.
no
The
the
actual expansion.
no, what was the name of the social space where the like Crucible dude was? And like the last social space that they brought in.
The Iron Temple.
That's it. Yeah, the Iron Banner tournament. Yeah,
Yeah.
um yeah, like even that place felt pretty technologically advanced, even though it was, supposed to be sort of like a mountain retreat area.
Mm.
And this place is just they're just like, oh shit, we need to put some stuff somewhere. How about here? Because everything's broken.
Have you even moved? Because I've already.
Yeah, no,
Because
I
I've been
moved
walking
too.
around. Okay,
I'm.
cool.
I feel like should we coordinate? Like, should we explore
I don't
together?
know. I can see a
Or
windmill in the distance. Wait, that's a windmill. Look at the windmill.
I okay, wait,
What are we even looking at?
where are you? Okay, so let's just move clockwise through the space, and that'll keep us together, and we can talk about how the beta has been.
There are just so many things. Look, there was an entire other village on this upper side of this lake.
Right?
It does not want me to go to the village.
So, so we've been playing the Destiny 2 beta for the last, oh, I don't know, 3, 4 days,
Yep.
and this is again the first time that they've brought up, oh, there's a bench here, let me sit on the bench. No, they're not gonna let me sit on the bench, are they? Wait, ah, kind of. Any,
You're closer than I am. Taking a knee on the bench.
uh, so how have you felt so far? We are. Um, we're basically wrapping up, There have been
Hmm.
four pieces of content. The main campaign mission that they let us run right at the beginning, and then there were two multiplayer modes and a strike mission, which is a up to three-player cooperative mission. How have you felt about it so far? Oh, we can't go in the house.
As someone who has spent way too much time in Destiny 1, as I've talked at length about somebody climbed the mountain. Okay, focusing, focusing. Um, I've enjoyed the feel of Destiny 2.
Yeah,
Um, I yeah, there are people crossing this. We're gonna take a slight detour. Oh, you're climbing that
I
way?
thought we were
Okay.
climbing the mountain. I thought we were climbing the mountain.
I was going for a different route, but fine.
Okay.
I'll meet you up here. Hi.
Hey.
Um, no, so like the Destiny 2 feels good. It feels like a sequel, which I've seen a lot of flack on the interwebs. Like this just looks like reskin Destiny 1 content.
Hmm.
But then you play the game and like the new gun system feels good. The new supers feel like they don't come up fast enough, but they feel fun to use. And can I jump on him? Oh God.
Blah!
Are you getting?
Crushed.
No, no. I'm running a treadmill, Josh.
Whoa,
Look.
wait, where did those flares come from?
Flares?
You see those up in that? Look up. Look up and to your right.
Oh God, what is? Are they coming down?
Yeah. Yeah,
Soccer!
I wouldn't
Soccer!
blame you if this brought you
Sorry.
back into MMOs academical. This is Oh wait, they actually gave us a place to play soccer.
The
Um
last pitch in the European zone. Okay, go, compete. We can do
okay,
business and play
wait.
soccer, right?
There's got to be
Uh,
I'll bet that's
oh
why is
no,
that
it
why the
was me.
flares went off?
Oh
Is
no,
cuz so they'll let us know
it
that the soccer ball was here?
that might be the case. Okay. Anyway, so I really enjoyed the Destiny 2 beta. The new PvP feels much more balanced. It feels a lot more like tactical in its implementation. The control of power ammo feels good. The supers come back a little slowly, but it feels fun. And like the new
Oh,
cruise, the new oh yeah, those are
yeah.
fantasy players from the soccer.
That was really exciting. Well, sorry, finish that.
Yeah, I've enjoyed everything that I've seen. I feel like the strike in it that has been provided, the inverted spire, is one of the best strike experiences, I think. It feels like a much more open world than a lot of the original strikes in Destiny 1. The boss mechanics was really interesting with how the fight changes depending on the phase that you're in.
Mm.
Are you just gonna play soccer for the
Oh,
next
wait,
couple
wait, wait.
minutes, man?
Ah, shit. Well, I wanted to score a goal, but you're right. We should move on.
We have so much to explore. Look at all of these buildings.
Oh, shit. Okay, can't go out
This
there.
is a yeah,
Um,
no.
but let's see. We got a comment from the I didn't have a lot of problems with Destiny 1 other than long-standing bugs in raids, like the swords disappearing in Crota 2, sword disappearing in Crota. So 2 and unfortunately it got cut off on PS4. I'm gonna try and pull up the chat on my app. But it
Hmm.
sounds like they're saying 2 looks good. So,
2 looks great. It's pretty. Um, it feels good. Like a lot of it is that like there are still things that we are getting. You can go into the what is out?
what? Where are you?
Okay, no, there. Don't mind me. I'm just exploring the
No, no, no.
forests.
I want to make sure I want to explore 2. Oh, 2
There's some
is
invisible
looking
walls.
more of the same. 2 looking like more of the same is good to me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
and it's not
think
just more of the same. It's a very specific type of sort of like what felt good in Destiny 1 feels better in Destiny 2, and
sure.
what felt bad about Destiny 1 is no longer an issue, at least from my eyes.
So for me, I keep telling people I'm like, if you didn't, I haven't seen anything in Destiny 2 aside from possibly more of a focus on story.
Hmm.
Um, I haven't seen anything in Destiny 2 that would make me say, if you didn't like Destiny 1, come play Destiny 2.
Hmm.
Like, I have found though that the pieces that, I used to refer to, I used to refer to Destiny as sort of like the bad relationship rip. Um, I used to
It doesn't
refer to
want to
Destiny
go
2
there.
as like this bad relationship that I just like keep coming back to, and
Hmm.
it's a terrible decision. And I think that, yeah, and you keep saying like, nope, she went to counseling, she got some, she took those classes she said she was gonna do. You had a chance to
She's
work on
really
some
turned
of
her
your
life around
problems.
in a lot of different ways, you know? Like,
Exactly. The game has come a long way over the course of a few years. And so now I feel like the parts that I enjoy in Destiny 2 are the parts that I enjoyed in the original Destiny, and they just aren't marred by poor technical decisions. So, like,
mm,
now given some of the stuff we don't know anything about, right? Like, we don't really know how bad the RNG is going to be. We don't know, um, I don't know how much commitment they're actually going to have to story. That introductory campaign mission was exceptionally thrilling. Like, um,
to
there
be
was
fair,
great.
they have said that there's going to be 50 plus cinematics in the actual campaign.
Well, it could be like a 6 second thing and be like, that's a cinematic. Like, I'm just,
Fair.
I'm giving credit where
Okay.
it's
Okay.
due that they have, like, there is more story and has been more story with each passing expansion than there was in the original, than in Vanilla
Hmm.
Destiny. But that doesn't mean that all of a sudden, like, everything is going to be like an introductory campaign mission. So,
Fair. Fair.
for folks who haven't played it, I want to get up in one of these houses. I know I can. Um,
There was a house that I just entered.
Here we go. Here's one with a couple of ships. Um, let's see, I got another comment. The first mission of D1 was way more polished than every other one in the game. I'm not confident in this mission being a good sample. And I feel the same way. Where like the first mission in Vanilla Destiny, right, it had these like elements of horror and suspense, and I was just like, holy shit, like I don't know what this game is gonna be putting me into. And then the rest of it was just kind of like, run around. Yeah, and I would love to see the energy maintained in this introductory mission carried through the rest of the game.
You're talking about like the second or third mission.
Am I?
Uh, yeah, because I
I
specifically
believe
remember
you.
when we were first talking about Destiny 1, the mission you were referring to was the first time that we met the Hive. And it was one of the earliest Cosmodrome missions, where we are going through a building and suddenly the power cuts out.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly you hear all of this screeching of the Hive enemies as they slowly swarm you and make your life hell.
Right.
Um, the first story mission in Destiny 1 involves you waking up in a bunch of abandoned cars in the Russian Cosmodrome,
Right.
and you navigate it, and I don't think we ever talked about that mission,
Mm-hmm.
but I remember the horror comment came from the introduction of the Hive,
Yeah.
because that that's what they were. They were terrifying. Also, the climb animation in third person looks so good.
um, let's see. How long are you planning to
Okay.
be on today? Trying to work out schedule for maximum hanging out. Um, yeah, I'm not sure how long I'm going to be streaming. We're just going to be running this basically for the course of the interview, and then we're going to be recording some segments for Anchor after the space closes, so that Chim has some time to explore this
Meet
space
up
with a
with these
few of his
other
Destiny
people.
friends. And
We're going for the goal. Oh God, why did the ball go sideways? Why did the ball go out
first,
of bounds?
so yeah, I'll be on for a little bit today. I do have some work that I need to do to get ready for the week, but you can hit me up in Discord and we can coordinate some stuff.
Josh, are you
Space
showing me
and
your
guns
chickens yet?
and guns and space. What's up, Backseat? Good to see you, Anna. First mission in
I
my
haven't
mind
seen
was
any
breaking through
chickens.
the wall, the says. Um, was breaking through the wall, was that after like you show up with the cars and then you walk
Hmm.
through, um,
Yes, that is the
you,
first story mission.
you
You
okay,
fight for your ship.
right. And then you like go in and you have to, isn't there some like, there's a little bit of jumping in oh
Yeah,
shit, nice. Oh, whoa, it even keeps score.
it's keeping.
It's a first to three. You see the lights in the back of the goal?
Okay, you and me. Let's go. Okay,
All
we're
right.
gonna play soccer for the rest of this match. Okay.
So, I mean, these are some of the spaces where, nice. These are some of the ways that Destiny becomes exciting. Like, it's
Going
these,
in.
no.
Oh!
Oh, come on. That bounced off of me. Damn it. So,
You're just jealous of my mad sliding skills.
get it. This isn't gonna
Wait, the
work
ball's
out.
behind us.
Okay. So, this isn't, I mean, there was a ball. There was a, like, soccer ball
It
in,
was a purple ball.
yeah, in D1 that people would, like, mess around with. And it was just kind of
Hmm.
fun. And so the idea that they're like, yeah, let's actually give them a soccer ball. It's just freaking great. Um, and these are some
No,
of the things that
team
I'm
it.
looking forward to seeing more of. Uh, the idea with MMOs in general that you can provide like a serious whatever game experience, but where it kind of lives and grows are in these weird casual fun moments.
Who are you calling weird, man?
Oh, well, I mean
I'm
it's
going
weird
in. No,
compared to
God.
nope.
The hit
Get that
detection of
block.
this ball.
So yeah, it's nice to have these social
Yeah!
spaces where wow,
Players.
we got shut
Players.
out.
What are you talking about?
Rough.
That's the goal I was aiming for.
Yeah. Oh, were we on the same team? I thought we were on opposite
I have
teams.
no idea. There's no flag, so
No,
I'm
none
going
at
for
all.
that one though.
Named my clan Activate Fan, thanks to hours lost in the tower shooting people into the air. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. There's a fan where like you could jump. It was kind of a precision jump thing, and you could jump onto this fan that would like shoot you up into the air. Isn't there a switch that you activate to turn on the fan?
Yeah. There's a
Nice
switch.
shot.
And goal!
So
I kind
yeah,
of want to
that's
go back on the treadmill. Um,
there's a treadmill?
well, watch. Follow me.
Oh, okay. Oh shit. So yeah, this is where I am excited about Destiny 2. I think that there um, is going to be. Oh, nice. I
You can
wish there
jump
was a way
on.
to get
It
on the
doesn't matter.
outer. Uh, okay, rip.
Are you in the thing?
I am
Are you
like on the
hamster wheeling
bottom
this?
hamster wheeling right now. Uh,
Let's
so,
hamster wheel this shit.
so yeah, I want there to. So what places do you think that they could have improved?
In the beta or in Destiny
Yep,
1
in the
in
beta.
general?
In the beta.
In the beta.
Like, what are you?
I
What?
feel okay. The complaints that I largely agree with the. I'm drowning right now. I'm
Oh
I'm
no.
stuck here.
Oh.
Okay, I'm out. I'm out.
All right.
The stuff in the Destiny 2 beta that I have concerns with. I have fully devoted most of my future time for this game, and I'm excited for it in whatever state that it eventually turns into. Right.
Right.
Um, the things I hope that they fix by launch are like tweaks in my head. So I think in PvE, the power ammo that used to be our go-to for boss damage and crowd clearing doesn't drop nearly as frequently as I hoped. So I don't see a lot of purple ammo, and I don't see
Hmm.
a lot of bricks. Um, A little dance party on the goal.
Dance party on the goal.
Um, and I think that the supercharge rate and the grenade cooldown could use a little bit of touch up, and I
Hmm.
think that that's also in part to the fact that we don't have any of the armor mods that will hopefully reduce the cooldown because there's just an empty socket right now
Right.
in all of the armor pieces. So I'm hoping that like once we actually have gear that has more abilities, that we will negate some of the struggles that we have right now, where it takes a solid like 2 minutes to get a grenade back. You are
Right.
lucky to get a super in a crucible match. Um, and I don't know how the fixed weapon system is gonna work out.
Sure.
Having only one version of a gun means that once you get it, what happens with all of somebody got on top of the fucking wires. Look up. Look up.
Wait.
How do we get there?
Oh, all right. Time to go. Yep, we're finding that.
Okay. Okay, I think it's this way. Yep, I think it's this way.
Okay. So, yeah, I think
Okay,
there.
maybe it's not this way.
Yeah,
No,
I
it's
think
not this way.
there's a fake wall there. Probably on top of this building and
Okay,
crossing
let's
over
go
from
to
the
the top of
roof.
the building then.
So
Um,
I think from did you have more stuff?
I it's really hard for me to like say like this beta is bad, right? Because I personally have had a lot of fun with it, and I understand that there's a lot of like reservation and hesitation and Asians in in
All
Reapy,
the
but
Asians.
yeah, like, and I get it, but like I've had okay, if I can climb this wall, if oh, there's an outside, okay, um, there has to be like a climb
You
feature.
gotta finish your sentences, man. You're right. We only got like 30 minutes left.
Oh shoot. I, I can't go back to Destiny 1 after playing Destiny 2. The gunplay feels more rewarding in Destiny 2. The sound design is great. The new Crucible is a godsend compared to the chaos of sixes and the stress of freeze.
Mm,
So, like I have no worries about like once we get to launch that a lot of these like qualms that I have will be gone
sure.
because I trust Bungie, and whether or not that is a reasonable thing to do is wholly up for debate. How do we get on these wires though? How did you get up there?
Well,
Okay.
the says, I wish they included a vendor, at least a way to use the infusion system. They went through a couple tweaks on that in D1, so they're interested in seeing where that's headed. And I'll admit, yeah,
Mhm.
I do think that a big part of Destiny obviously is the loot, and
Yes. Yes.
we
Yes.
had a
Yes.
pretty
Yes. Yes.
interesting spread of gear um, in the beta, but it'll be interesting to see like how do they handle the evolving meta that, comes from a loot-focused game and trying to figure out how to balance weapons and oh, people are, only running this combo or whatever. The meta of the beta kind of evolved to the point where folks were focusing primarily on auto and pulse rifles, which is cool. Um,
Interesting, because I have not seen a lot of autos after a while.
I feel like maybe there were submachine guns, but for a minute there, I saw a lot of auto rifles. I was dying way too far away for it to be a sub. But
Interesting.
but I think that from my perspective, as somebody who is not as invested in Destiny but does legitimately enjoy it, um, I I am excited about the game because I think that there's something approachable about a focus on PvE. How did you get there? There's
I
something,
used the climb mechanic.
there's a climb
Uh,
mechanic?
d- yeah.
Like if you
So
just,
okay. So do you see that little like incline on of the grassy
yep,
routes? If you walk up that jump, you should be able to climb up to the roof.
okay. Nice. Um,
Okay, follow me. I found the high wire.
Sweet. Um, so yeah, mantling, that's important. There are little tweaks that make this game, um, that give this game, I think, advantages or potential advantages over D1. But I do think that
God,
there's
this is
still
so terrifying.
don't want to fall. But I do think that there's still going to be kind of those basic questions of how do you maintain the interest for folks who, for me, I played it for a couple of weeks and that was okay. And then I walked away. And I would love to see this game become more persistent. I'd love to see, um, whoa, that is way up there. I would love to see its community grow. And so that's where, for me, I'm just like, how do we keep the weapons balanced? How do we continue creating content that is like accessible and fun for folks who have not thrown 100 hours into the game already? Um, and I think every MMO suffers with that challenge, right? Um, and a lot of conventional MMOs will handle that by giving you a fully leveled character or whatever. But I think that when you're on console, it's different. It just feels different to you. Can I dance on this wire? Yes, I can.
You can dance if you want
um,
to. Oh
oh
God, buddy,
no!
no.
Ooh, poor Everett. So, but let's see. The was talking a little bit about Crucible. 4v4 is a sweet spot. I didn't expect it to feel so much better than 6 or 3. And also, I got a full auto scout that had me on top in Crucible. So, I think the biggest change for D2 above the gear is the targeting of
Oh God,
four-person
no.
fire teams. Oh, see you later,
Oh
buddy.
God, that hurt. That hurt like a
So,
massive snap.
and
I got
I
a
do
nice shot at
think
the windmills though.
I think 4 is a great number, though. I mean, if you think about it, how many multiplayer games do we have that typically involve up to 4 players? And if you, apparently the says that we couldn't raid because we didn't have enough people, so I'm guessing there are going to be 4-person raids?
No,
Are they
it's
still
a
6-person
six-person raid
raids?
still, but they have an in-game LFG system now.
Oh, okay. So that'll help for
Um,
sure.
yeah,
Because
and
raiding,
it's all flying.
oh, go ahead.
Well, the I did hear what they're doing to solve this issue, where clans can basically adopt players
Hmm.
and say like, "Hey, we are looking for X amount of people to help with this raid. We will teach you how this goes." So it will help people who want to learn the ins and out of the game to meet up with people who generally know what they're doing.
Yeah. And I do think that, I'm bringing up raiding is super critical. Raids are, after you have reached level cap, the raid is like raiding was the most interesting part of D1. And if you didn't
Mm-hmm.
have 6 people, if you didn't have 5 friends that you could run it with, you just couldn't do it. And there was no in-game matchmaking system or way to find other groups. You'd have to use like a Destiny LFG looking for group on Reddit or something like that, and that's a giant pain. So being able that blocking out people from playing ostensibly the most interesting part of your content is kind of a letdown. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this new LFG system to give people a chance to access raids from the onset.
How did I
Now,
get up here in the first place?
so I know that you probably still want to be able to catch up with the rest of your Destiny folks. Do you have
Mm-hmm.
anything that you want to kind of close up with, or anything that you want to mention?
So Destiny 1, I think in a lot of ways had a very like interesting history over 3 years. And regardless of your previous experiences with Destiny, all I have to say is that they have learned. Bungie has really created something special here, and if you were even remotely interested in Destiny 2, you should give it a try, because I think you'll be very happy with what you find.
Cool. And I think that I honestly I agree. I think that Destiny has grown up a lot in this is now 3 years,
Yep.
and um, I think that it's pretty obvious that Activision and Bungie have a commitment to making this franchise successful. My hope
Mhm.
is that I feel like I have been fooled by betas before, and so
Mhm.
I am still I'm still keeping a little bit at arm's length. I think that there'll be a ton of interesting content, and obviously, if you're a D1 player, I haven't seen anything here that would make me feel that a D1 player would not feel at home. Um,
Mhm.
but I do feel like I need a commitment to the lore because for me, as a casual player, and as somebody who may not have a group of two or three or five people to run content with constantly, there needs to be something that keeps me committed to playing the game, at least through the story content, so that then I'm incentivized to find those groups, to play through the end game content, to get the better
You
gear.
mean like an in-game lore button?
Yeah, so that will be very helpful. But I think even just the idea of having actual, campaign missions that have a lot of story and bring in characters that I care about. I was
Mhm.
surprised when I ran the campaign mission how much I was connected to Cade 6 and Zavala and Ikora Ray.
Mhm.
So I'm interested in them pulling more of that. So, um, closing up, I guess I'm probably going to run a little bit of Crucible after this, so the stream will
Oh,
be up for a little bit later. Um, But for folks who want to check out your content, Mikkel, particularly Destiny 2 folks, how do they find it?
you can find me on Anchor.fm at a podcast without light. At some point, I will link my Twitter so that way it actually is hooked up to this podcast. But yeah, if you want to preemptively follow me, you can find me at ChimericNotion on Twitter and Instagram, where I just post pictures of my Titan looking like a Titan.
Yeah, a podcast without light is so Anchor FM is a podcast hosting service. It does essentially a lot of posts are short. It's kind of bite-sized 5-minute segments. But a podcast without light is specifically a Destiny podcast where Mikkel has, I believe, done 9 episodes talking about.
It's actually 10. One of them is
Oh,
in episode 0.
well, okay. Where he's done discussions about Destiny, Destiny 2, and sort of the experiences he's gone through, in addition to some more technical discussions about the game and those kinds of things. So you should download Anchor FM and check out the podcast. You can also do you have the podcast function enabled? Can they look it up on iTunes?
Yes, if you
Okay.
look it up on iTunes and Google Play, a podcast with a light is available for download for all of your standard apps.
Yep.
This is yelling at me because I'm on the other side of the fence. I'm gonna meet up with my other folks, and I will talk to you soon, Josh.
All right.
Thanks
Have a
for
good one,
having me on
Mikhail.
today's Twitch stream.
No, this was fun. I will catch you later. Well, all right. Um, let's see. If you, the says, if you like lore, did you check out the Ghosts and Echoes podcast? They do radio plays of the Grimoire cards. That actually sounds really cool. So, for folks who might be new to Destiny, you could grab these items throughout gameplay called the Grimoire cards, and they were essentially the lore for Destiny 1. Now, part of why the D2 beta already is more attractive to me than D1 is because they actually include their lore and dang it, I'm a bad goalie. So they actually include the lore in the campaign cinematics. So to me, it was interesting being able to actually like learn about what was happening in the story there. But there's always supplemental lore for an MMO, and the Grimoire cards were additional items that you could find throughout gameplay. And then you could read these cards to learn about the different items or characters or classes or any of the different things that compose Destiny's world. Destiny's world is actually fairly deep with a pretty significant backstory, but if you don't check the Grimoire cards, a lot of it you'll have no idea about. And the Grimoire cards were only accessible. Oh, wait, turn off what? Okay. And the Grimoire cards were only accessible, the information for them was only accessible through the Destiny app or through the Bungie website instead of just being able to access them in-game. Now, Destiny 2 does fix that, and you'll be able to access the Grimoire cards and lore in-game. But I do think it's interesting at hearing radio plays of the Grimoire cards. I'll definitely check out that Ghosts and Echoes podcast. Thank you for making that recommendation. Um, in case folks have not seen it, we're going to go ahead and I feel like we've explored here pretty well. I'm sure there are going to be tons of secrets to find, and I'm interested in seeing what this is like once it's populated with people. I don't recognize this symbol, though I feel like I should. And I know that I'm sure there are going to be folks who are, I'm sure there are going to be folks who do these in-depth analyses of what all these locations are going to be once this is done. I think that's a Cryptarch station. I could go for that. That would make some good sense. I want to know about drop rates. I know that is super, you know, whatever, but like part of what makes a loot based game exciting is the ability to get strong or rare items. And the original, vanilla Destiny did not do a great job of correlating the work that you were doing with the rewards that you were getting. And they have, when it first started, you could basically shoot and kill any enemy and have an equal chance of getting rare loot, which is how the loot cave happened. There was a space where the respawn rate in an area was just far away enough from like a large open alley that you could literally just shoot bullets into a cave and it would randomly drop gear that could end up being super powerful. So it was super insane. And now it'll be interesting to see what happens with with some of the new content. It looks like Rahul didn't make it out of the tower. Rahul is one of the Cryptarchs, the people who would decode the information, decode the essentially random loot that you would drop to figure out what it was. So that would be kind of sad. I hope he made it. He was one of my favorites. Alright, so I am going to score this goal, and we're going to drop out of here and run the strike real fast, and then I'll probably call it a day for the stream. But this is a cool space. This will only be around for another half hour, so if you haven't gotten the chance to explore, you should jump in. I'm going to open the director. No, that's not what I want. That's a very interesting game design article on time investment and the loot cave. Yeah, honestly, as somebody who participated for a significant amount of time in the loot cave, I think it is it's a great example of there is a concept in I guess like city planning or like park design or whatever, and they're called pathways of desire. And essentially, we've all seen them, like where you've got a sidewalk that goes, runs like a sidewalk, makes a right angle, goes around the edge of a property, and then right through the middle, through the grass, is this tramped out, dead path of what was grass, but is now just like a dirt path where people walk through. Even though there's a designed way to traverse through this space around the sidewalk, people consistently go down the dirt path, and they go through these pathways of desire. The loot cave feels very much like a Destiny version, or felt like a Destiny version of Pathways of Desire. The goal is to get loot, and so their intention was for you to go through and complete missions and defeat bosses to get loot. But the thing is, people go through Pathways of Desire because they're inherently more efficient, and they come with no real cost. So even if it feels, oh, I'm not walking on the sidewalk, Well, whatever, I save a bunch of time and energy by going through the grass. So that's what we do. And the loot cave, essentially, there was no incentive for you to go through and defeat bosses or complete missions because your drop rates were just as good destroying a boss as they were going to the loot cave. So I literally I literally spent hours, just like I would get a group of friends and we would stand outside of the loot cave and just shoot at random things that dropped, hoping that we would get legendary items. And it's super frustrating to think that you would end up breaking a game like that, but particularly when you go into competitive spaces like the Crucible, if you don't have good gear, you can't really compete. So I think it is a good thing that they not only patched out the loot cave so that people couldn't use that exploit, but then also said, well, why are they doing the loot cave? What are they unhappy with? And let's see if we can fix that. And that's when you start seeing the loot table change around and start seeing the abilities to get better gear in more frequently. Bungie has spoken at length about how frustrating it is for them to discover people doing non-fun things to progress. There are always going to be game breakers, you know. There are always going to be people who... Well, I guess it's difficult also because it's like, it depends on your definition of fun, right? So there are some people where, like, they get the most out of, like, collecting items or, you know, grabbing gear or whatever. It's important to them to get a complete armor set. And so for them, they're not having fun if they're not getting armor, even if they are going through an exciting game and seeing really awesome set pieces and learning about these in-depth characters. They're like, yeah, but I didn't get anything, so why am I doing it? So, let's see. As I understand it, the main balance is time versus attention investment. Oh, I'm getting lit up here. The developers thought the bosses with better drop rates would be more attractive because they'd require less time, even if they required more investment. What they hadn't counted on was that people would sometimes prefer to invest time instead of attention because they could do other things while shooting into the loot cave the way they couldn't if they were trying for bosses. I mean, in my experience, there was some of that, but it was primarily that I could go through a boss, beat a boss, and get nothing. Get literally no drop. Not even you got a common item, but literally nothing. And to me, it was just like, it wasn't even a question of, is this time versus attention? This was a question of, would I rather be guaranteed that I'm going to get something, or go through a 20-minute mission to feel like I got nothing? So, yeah. I guess it's a matter of the developers insisting that the players play the game core instead of casual. Well, we'll see. I mean, we'll see discussions and changes like that for a long time. I think that, honestly, one of the best things to happen to gaming as a whole is understanding that there is a casual market, and that playing to the casual market is a benefit. That there are a lot of folks out there who want to play Uncharted and don't necessarily want to spend an hour trying to grind their way through a particularly difficult section of the game. So maybe we should just put in a story difficulty, and then people who want to play the game on hard can. And then people who want to just experience the story that we've taken all this time to craft can do that too. Playing to the casual market does not... I think it's a positive. You know, you're not depriving the hardcore of an experience. You're just providing the more casual players a way to experience the game in a way that they enjoy. Let's see. Back when I played SWG, there was a lot of XP grinding. I found Zen while slaying fields of critters. There are... I don't know. There was a... It was interesting that the loot cave, you know, we were talking about social spaces. It's interesting that the loot cave essentially became a social space that, you know, you would show up there, and I'm gonna get myself killed. Um, that you would show up there and like literally I would just hang out with my buddies and we would talk about whatever, and like Academical brought up before, it gave me the opportunity to do other stuff while I was doing it. Like I could basically just shoot at this cave and then like check my cell phone or just chat. And there was also a sort of zen that came from just like the lather, rinse, repeat of
those drills. Even the Vex can't
what's up, buddy? I have to take you out while you're not near me. There's of the sort of lather, rinse, repeat of throw bullets, then you know, walk and grab engrams, then come back, then throw bullets. I mean, I would love to not do that again. I don't want to find a loot cave in D2, but it was an interesting moment to be like a digital part of. Oh, I'd like to not die here. Thank you. There we go. My favorite D1 experiences were when focus was not required. Shoot the mobs, but also shoot the shit with buds. Exactly. That's what... And I am tempted to say, based on even that little experience that we had with the new social space, that Destiny, the D2 designers are understanding that, right? By providing like an actual soccer minigame. And of course the hit the hit detection on the soccer ball was not great, but that wasn't what it was about. It's not about, oh, this is a super polished soccer game, I could go play FIFA for that. It's about, hey, I'm playing Destiny, and oh, this would be an interesting thing to do with my buds for a bit. Those are the spaces, those are the things that always stick in my memory. The first time that I ran the raid was actually with ChimericNotion, who was just on the line, as well as my buddies Myron. I always forget the numbers after Myron's handle. Totally Not Adam87. I think Dusty Rhymes was in there, and another folk that we had just another person or two that we had just picked up randomly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, one person that we'd picked up randomly, and we spent hours trying to grind our way through this boss, and our sixth person, our random, had to leave, so we were trying to run it with 5. And like the idea that I still remember running that first raid, to me that is worth all the time that I put into it, even though we didn't finish it. It's just like, oh no, this was a really cool game experience with friends. And I find, particularly as I get older, and I have less time to spend gaming, I still really enjoy games with deep story, but really I want to be able to spend time with the friends that, like, it's already kind of difficult for me to see. I'm originally from the Midwest, but I moved to Portland. And I love Portland, but a bunch of my friends are still back in the Midwest. So it's awesome to be able to play games together and share in, like, really awesome moments that we might not have been able to if we were just, I don't know, hanging out, going to restaurants or bars or something like that. And of course, that's not to say that we couldn't play video games together if I still lived in the Midwest, but I hope you get what I'm saying. I could talk about this forever. So what character did you run, It seems like you have been pretty deep into the game. And Academical, it seems like you've done at least a little bit of looking into Destiny over time. Do you feel like there's a... Uh-oh. Coming for you, buddy. Oh, I'm gonna get lit up, aren't I? Okay. Oh, Defender Titan. Yeah, you would have had some discussion with Chim if he was still around. He is all about Titan life. I know that's ultra specific. Well, I mean, there's I'm telling you, there's like a pride that 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 Chim has about being a Titan. And I think especially if you do check out that podcast Without Light, you'll be able to see some of the stuff that he was talking about. Actually, so I run a video game website called Intelligame, and we published an article that that Mikkel wrote up about actually published an article about basically his experience with Destiny and how he went from basically not being a console game player to being this like sort of Destiny fanatic, and the way that it sort of changed his life for the better. Like it's a really great article. I was really happy to have published it. Intelligame, I saw you tweet about this, but thought it was related to Intel. Oh shoot. I hope I tagged it right. And actually that's really good feedback, because I would like to make sure that people understand what it is I'm talking about. I didn't realize that that could be a point of confusion, but it makes sense. But yeah, Intelligame has been running since September of 2015, so it's coming up on its 2-year birthday. And we specialize in oh, okay, it's a Pig Squad connection. I gotcha. So, you're too kind, Anna. But yeah, Pig Squad's been, oh, did we just rip? Yeah, we did. Whoops. Alright, at least I'm carrying my own. I'm helping. So, but yeah, Intelligame's been up since 2015, and we focus on basically having discussions not just about games, but also like the social situations that surround games. That's a giant shield, bro. That's what you wanted? Okay. So it's been nice to be able to have some more in-depth discussions. And Mikkel actually was part of a we did a series where we went through Telltale Batman, and he was my sort of co-pilot for that. So rip. Okay, they've got giant frickin' butcher knives. I don't need to stand right next to them. Let's see. Intel, you're out in Hillsboro. Oh, okay. So another Portlander. Good. That's.
I think they want their drill back.
I'll have to maybe catch up at a Pig Squad event one of these days. I haven't been to many this summer because it's been such a busy summer, but... Alright, I have to scroll up a little bit after this fight so I can read what you're talking about, Academical. Give me just a second. No, 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 no! Alright, well, now I have time. Never mind. No, I don't. There we go. Yeah, fusion rifles are great in D2. Oh, I didn't realize I could do that. There we go.
I hope this is safe.
Ooh, that was real pretty. That was a good ult. Get out of here. Alright, now we have friends. And that dude's got an arc shield, and I have an arc weapon, which means I'm about to have a lot of fun. Yep. There's one. And There's another. Oh, what? Oh, I don't know how that happened, but okay. Alright, let me check this real fast. I have a whole rant about... Ah, dang it, it didn't catch. They can do set-piece battles really well, and they can do special abilities with weapon, but their normal average gameplay seems to be too... Whoops. Yeah, can you repost that last part, Academical? So, and Bungie, I mean, if we compare then this to Halo 5, like, they do have, they are really good at set pieces and creating these really large, BT Dub, are you in the Pig Squad chat, or in the Slack? So, you know, playing Halo, they're all about like these giant set pieces and big mechanics, and it's part of what makes the game so like fascinating. But let's see. Yeah, it's the aesthetic and world building choices of Bungie, and when they get to do little projects like Halo 3 and ODST, yeah, I really enjoyed ODST, and I liked that they had some like actual character building in ODST, that it wasn't just a big story about Master Chief. They can produce some great stuff, but the pressure to be the AAA studio with the eminently saleable property often takes the interesting decisions they make and turns them into kind of boring stuff. I think that one of the benefits of Destiny in that case is that oh, somebody, you died. You know, one of the benefits of Destiny is that it's an MMO, and MMOs generally thrive on repetitive actions.
I'll be honest,
so
I don't like this one bit.
This is kind of cool. So yeah, they're great at set pieces. They're great at putting things together that feel compelling or exciting, but they're not always the most... Am I about to... Nope. It's not always the most innovative of gameplay. And I'd like to not die here. Thank you. But I will say that I think that I have... Oh, I'd like to not die here. Oh, dang, I was getting followed. So it'll be interesting to see how they kind of keep the game interesting as you go through the actual gameplay and progressing through the story. MMOs tend to thrive on repetitive action, so I'm not doubting that the sort of gameplay style will seem just as compelling to folks who've been around for a little bit. No, thank you. There we go. Oh. Oh, okay. That was where we were supposed to go. But I also feel like they're, you know, Destiny mechanically is super fucking sharp. Like, just the gameplay feels, the gunplay is some of the best feeling that that I've played in a first-person shooter. And yeah, no, I totally agree there. I don't think it's great for Halo. I would have loved to see more, yeah, okay. I would have, honestly, like, with Halo 5, it's just not... I was so excited for Halo 5, particularly because of the introduction of Spartan Locke. And me and my friends talk about the guns in terms of mouthfeel. Exactly. It's so weird that it really is. It's about this almost like textural feeling of the recoil of the guns. There's a stream on this channel from, I want to say earlier last week, that we did some gameplay with the developers behind a game called Earthfall, which is sort of like Left 4 Dead. but based in the Pacific Northwest. And I was talking to their lead weapon designer about design, you know, how do you make the recoil of a shotgun feel right? How do you make the, you know, the feedback, the, you know, how to make it feel good when you've actually shot and killed a target. Yeah, and it is sort of like mouthfeel. It's weird, but it's good. But yeah, I was particularly excited about Halo 5 because of the introduction of Spartan Lock and the idea that they would start to bring in... Nope. Yeah, let me waste all my super energy on a wall. But yeah, I was really excited about the concept of bringing in a new, really? Oh, okay, good. I had just burned my entire flipping over shield. Okay. Like, so, I wanted the game to be good. I wanted the story to be deep. I wanted to see new characters. And then it ended up just being really uninteresting. A lot of really slow places and a lot of just unimaginative stories. So it kind of felt like a missed opportunity, and I would love for them to get, because we know Halo 6 will happen. I would love for them to find some writers that could do something interesting with the franchise. But they also, I mean, their bread and butter is multiplayer, so I'm sure that's where they put their focus design-wise.
Isabella, we found it. Big necks.
I'm hanging out in the farm and there's a massive dance party happening. These Guardians are happy to be alive. Like, that is going to be a big thing in, was it 343 that's running Halo now? Because Halo 5 still was not particularly compelling, and I can't remember if Bungie left for Halo 4 or Halo 5, but I would love to see the writing tuned up either way. I think that there's a lot of space for that franchise to do some things. And now they're all teabag. This is the nature of the internet. It's the nature of the internet. I'd love to not die again. That's my goal. This has a, I feel like there's enough challenge in these missions. It feels compelling, but the weird thing about running it in the beta is that you generally grind strike missions for loot, and there's just not. You do get a legendary weapon, the Risk Breaker. It's a SMG that I might have as my secondary right now, and then after that, it's just kind of the same same set of rare gear that you can get from, or legendary gear that you can get from multiplayer. Bungie left and Microsoft had to make a whole studio cloth to continue on with, oh, here we go, to continue on with Halo. Yeah, I think I got a different gun. I got a sniper from the strike? I didn't know that was a thing. I thought, well, okay. I made an assumption that was inaccurate. That, oh, I'm on fire. The Icarus Dash is fantastic. And that, by the way, there's a new mobility move that Warlocks have called the Icarus Dash, and it allows you, when you're working as a Sunsinger, to mid-air dash. And it is flipping great. Oh, please don't let me be the last Guardian standing. Okay. Someone said the rewards might be class-related. Well, then I am glad that I ran a Warlock, because I'm garbage with sniper rifles, and I would have done nothing with that weapon. Oh. But yeah, Halo is a really deep property, and actually, there are a number of novels that are supposed to be really good novels based in the Halo universe. And so what I was most excited about for Halo 5, the reason why I got excited about Halo 5 was because of the Hunt the Truth podcast. So there was essentially I mean, it was a fictional podcast, but a serial that they did as a podcast. It was voiced by Keegan-Michael Key from Key and Peele, played the lead, and he played a journalist who was doing research into the backstory of Master Chief, and ended up finding out these like kind of holes in the Master Chief story that unearthed this giant conspiracy, and then ends up on the wrong end of the government, who is trying to then cover this up. And it was a really interesting, I'm gonna get hurt, aren't I? Nope, okay. So, yeah, I am. Oops. Come on back, Guardian. So I was really excited for them to take this story about, you know, Master Chief being a potential spy or whatever, and doing something with that. And then they were like, no, we're just gonna make it a shooty game. And that was super depressing. I was just like, you guys, you had me so hooked just from this like podcast. And then they actually did a season 2 of Hunt the Truth that was actually pretty bad. So if you end up checking out the podcast, which I totally recommend you do, just check out season 1. Do yourself a favor. Halo Splinter Cell wasted opportunity? Yeah, I haven't actually, the last time that I played, man, I'm trying to remember the last time I played a Splinter Cell. Halo has the problem that their world story doesn't work without further scrutiny. Yeah, you can't just play the game and get the information or the depth that you're looking for out of the franchise. You have to read the corollary novels. You have to go on to wikis, and you know, it's a waste. It's a super deep universe with some interesting characters and potential, and they're just like, nah, if you want to know about any of that, you gotta go somewhere other than the game, which is how Destiny was in the vanilla, and that's why I was like, I'm not playing this anymore, because I'm not intrigued by the idea of having to load an app every time I want to look at your story. I haven't actually played Metal Gear 5, though I actually haven't even played Metal Gear 4. I've heard good things about both of them, but man, the stories in Metal Gear are so convoluted, and you know, stuff like the Lolly Lule Lo and like I feel like I never have an idea of what's happening in Metal Gear, but it seems like a intriguing franchise, and I did like playing as Snake in Smash Brawl. That was cool. I'm a little disappointed that he didn't make his way into Smash 4. Everyone is a clone, time travel. Alright, again, a reason I'm thinking Destiny 2 might have finally learned the lesson I've wanted Bungie to learn. They've been in the game for a while, so I don't know. I feel like the decision that I have come down on for Destiny is that if I play Destiny even once every couple of weeks as a way to hang out with friends and run an interesting game together, I will consider myself as getting my money's worth out of the game. Like, I'm not... Oh, that's super bad. Okay. Let's clear some ads. Shoot! We're going to die. Okay, there we go. Um,
That did it. Modular mine is down.
Well done. Failsafe, what's your
okay.
assessment of this incident?
Yeah, I
Vex
think,
records
yeah, I already
indicate
have
the
both of
Cabal
those.
discovered the mine and brought it into this world to capture it. Had the Red Legion achieved their goal, I estimate
Aw,
a
they're so,
60%
you
chance
see
this
that, that's so
planetoid would have
nice.
been destroyed in the ensuing battles. Luckily, the captain stepped in.
So, and that's weird. That was a kind of strange moment where it's like they used the emotes to be like, "Hey, I don't know. I felt like they were like, "Hey, you saved us. Great job." I I don't know if that's how it felt. So those are the kinds of things that I enjoy about MMOs. Um, I feel like if I can play this a couple times a month with friends who are probably weekly, basically. Um, weekly or a couple times a month to hang out with friends and chat and maybe, grind some gear. I'll consider that worth it. Um, Particularly since I know that though I would like to play this on PC, I'll probably end up getting it for PS4. And a lot of my friends on PS4, I can't hang out with them and play Heroes of the Storm or Overwatch on PC because they don't have those. So I'm okay with letting Destiny be a social space for me. I don't need it to have this ridiculously in-depth story like I was hoping they would with D1. I would love it if they do, and I'll be surprised. I'll be happy about it. But in the meantime, I'm just like, you know what, Destiny, you can just be Destiny, and I'm gonna be okay with that. Um, Towards the ends of my time with D1, I'd show up for Iron Banner, and that was about it. Good level of investment. Exactly. Like, there are so many games out there now, and so many games that I want to play that I don't need one game to be my end-all, be-all. And there are some folks where that is for them. Chimeric, this is Destiny, is his game. Destiny 2 will be his game. And, that's where he spends his time, that's where he makes his friends, that's where he invests his talent and his energy, and I think that's super sick. For me, I am still trying to find other games with story, and I like to experiment around a bit, and so it's all right. I'm looking forward to it either way. And yeah, I guess I'm building Story Machine to meet that need. It's a good call. I agree with that, Academical. So. And yeah, if I play too many games or spend too much time playing games, no time to make games myself. That's totally how that works. It's weird. People usually ask me because I'm a journalist, and they're like, "Oh, do you ever want to make games?" And I'm usually like, "No, I just like talking about other people's. I don't actually have game ideas." But over the past couple days, or the past couple weeks, I've sort of started coming up with stuff, and it's nothing super unique or whatever. It's just I haven't seen this in a while, and this is so effective, and nobody did anything with it. So I'm thinking about getting into making a game myself, in the sense that I will need to be a designer, and I will need coders because I can't code for shit. But yeah, I think this will pretty much do it for today. If you obviously you can check out, for anybody who just came in, I did about a half hour in the farm with ChimericNotion, the host of A Podcast Without Light. So if you are interested in that, you can check out the VOD. Also, I really do recommend checking out A Podcast Without Light. If you get the Anchor FM app, you can call in and leave comments and find a bunch of other stations, including Intelligame Radio. But otherwise, you can find Intelligame content at intelligame.us, and keep an eye out at twitch.tv/let'sintelligame. I stream over there every Thursdays. That's not how the sentence works. No, lie. I stream over there every Thursday from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific, and I've been streaming more often on the Wallstormer account, but yeah, so if you haven't already, drop a follow. I'd totally appreciate it. And yeah, academical, that would be cool. I man, I have so many projects I want to do. So anyway, well, have a good night, folks. I guess we can go ahead and try and set up a raid. Let me see who's online. Um, who is live? Oh, we got a few folks on. I am actually I need to drop a host over to Cypher of Tyre. I got or Cypher of Tyr. I actually she dropped me a host the other day, and so I need to return the favor. But I will keep an eye out for your stream, academical, and try and swing in to hang out for a bit. So we are heading over to. Hold on. So we are gonna head over to here. All right, have a great one, folks, and thanks for sticking around. This was a lot of fun.